If you own multiple properties and you're wondering about what happens when it's going to move on to the next generation, when somebody has multiple investment properties, there's a number of questions that come up about what's the best way to structure them, both during your life and how to pass it along. So starting with how to structure it during your life. People like to separate properties into separate LLCs. You can have one LLC for every property you own, or you can bunch them up into specific groups. And a lot of that is a judgment call depending on what you're doing, how you're managing it, and the types of properties involved and whatnot. Then the question also comes up as to whether you should have a holding company. And once a person reaches a certain level, certainly a holding company becomes much more advisable, becomes easier to manage, and also can help with the asset protection side of it, which is trying to separate the amount of cash that can build up within an investment LLC. Having a holding company can help in those aspects. Now, when it comes to leaving this to the next generation, there's two sides of it that we often look at, right? One is, well, how are we going to transfer it over? Are we going to create trust? Are we going to create multiple trusts? And within those trusts, are people or the beneficiaries receiving a percentage of everything? Do we want to leave specific properties or specific LLCs to specific people? And a lot of that is based off of the dynamics of the people involved, meaning, is one person going to be responsible for managing everything? Do we want to make sure that we do not tie certain people together financially, right? If you have 3 beneficiaries and nobody gets along, having them tied together financially might not make sense. So they're having or leaving specific properties or specific LLCs to them becomes much more advisable. And then there's also just the complexity of the estate plan, right? If that can lead to some complexities. So we look at those things and help you make a judgment call as to how you want to structure that. The other side of it is the management, right? Who is going to be the person or people that step up to actually manage these multiple properties, right? There's on the internet some people that make it seem like managing investment real estate is the easiest thing. It's mailbox money or whatnot. If you own multiple properties, that's not true, right? So really looking at and deciding on who's going to step in and manage these investment properties for the next generation becomes really important. And not only does it become important to document that in the estate planning documents, in your trust or in the operating agreements of these different LLCs, but also in creating a plan for them to actually learn the business and to understand what to do. Right? So at Perez-Roura Law, what we do is that we work with our clients in first understanding who you are, what is it that you are trying to accomplish, and then helping craft a plan that makes sense for you and your family. So if you want to begin the process, you can call us at 305-359-3888 to schedule your confidential consultation so we can discuss you, your family, your goals, and your estate plan.